And he's like, don't you know where you fucking are? Doing fucking bottom. What the fuck are you doing?
And if you want to make Vikings not cool, just really study them.
Okay. Fortnite. What the hell? Me. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the wonderful Pierre Novellie. Woo!
Hello.
Yes.
Clapping myself.
Clapping yourself, because you deserve it. Pierre is my wonderful guest here in Copenhagen in the Work in Progress tour. We're doing 3 shows. Did the first show yesterday.
Yeah.
Simon told me this is how to dress, by the way. So.
You did fucking amazing.
Thanks, man. You too.
Thank you. You did so well. And speaking of clapping, you were getting applause breaks from your comedy, of course, your stand-up, and then from speaking Danish.
Yeah, from my attempts at random bits of Danish.
Because you'd ask someone, "What is this word?"
Yeah.
And they'd tell you, and then you'd repeat it back to them, and everyone in Denmark went, "How did he say that so well?" And you'd get applause breaks just from like a little kid talking. Like,
It's very easy if you go to a country where they're not used to anyone from far away trying to learn their language.
Yes, because we just assume, well, we know it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
So the attempt is amazing.
Yeah.
But that's very fascinating to me that you actually know way more about Denmark than I didn't know that part of you, that you actually went, like your entire dissertation from university was about Denmark. So, and this is your first time in Denmark.
I spent 3 years looking at maps of Denmark and not going. Yeah, I've basically studied Vikings for 3 years, and if you want to make Vikings not cool, just really study them.
Okay.
Because then it becomes more history, which I like. But some people who like Vikings don't like the real Vikings. They like the Vikings of the mind.
Yeah, we want them just to have like helmets with horns and like asterisks and just knocking people out like that.
Guitar solos.
And then in real world they're all about settlements and farming.
Trade,
that's what we're into.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to be here in the futuristic city, talking about such old stuff. But also, what's interesting about talking to you is you sound so...
Just talk about that again, totally natural.
Yeah. So I was going to say that because you have the Irish accent, but not the cultural references, you're like a Soviet spy. Because they would train these Russian spies and they'd sound American. Yeah. And they'd send them to live in America just as like, hello, I'm a dentist.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, but I felt that way because I went back to, I've been to Dublin a few times visiting my dad's family, and my entire dad's family is the kind of these shady character my dad. So my entire family are just these crazy, they're like my cousins, like one of them at a cast because he's just been in like a massive fight, and they all got that psycho hair, where they're bald here, and then they got the what do you want? Come at me, bro, hair. And we were at this bar called the Bottom of the Hill, so I was sitting there with my family, right, and my brother and my uncle's there, and I'm like, oh, this is a weird place, an interesting culture, all right, and all of a sudden, like, I just get smacked over the back of my head harder than I've ever been hit. And my uncle's standing there with my wallet, and he's like, don't you know where you fucking are? Doing fucking bottom. What the fuck are you doing? Because I just left my wallet in my jacket, like a person hanging out with his family. They were like, don't trust any of us.
How dare you trust us?
So that thing, I felt like that was kind of wild as a Danish person, because we're the most trusting people in the world.
Well, yeah, there was no barriers for the train from the airport. Yeah. There was no ticket. I bought a ticket and I was like, well, where? I want this stamped.
Yeah, but we just
scanned or
no. We assume you pay. Sometimes they like check, but they're like sorry they have to check. They're like I'm sorry, I know you probably paid, but I have to do this. But what's fascinating, like your story is so fascinating to me because you're originally South African. You're from Johannesburg, right?
Yes, originally, yeah. And which is a shame because I'm much paler on this than you are. You have a heartier tan than me.
I feel kind of sorry about that.
Yeah,
actually.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's the lighting in here.
I don't know. I'm very pale. I'm gonna put an orange filter on the light.
I'll just Photoshop you. The entire interview. We'll just put
half the filter. Yeah, one line down here.
Yeah. Make you look good. Like you're supposed to shine. I thought Finglas was kind of a culture shock for me. But I'm thinking going back to Johannesburg is like a shady. Like I went there when I was 14. I went to South Africa for like 3 weeks. We drove around and lived with a lot of nice people we met, like very. But it's
everyone's nice.
Yeah, but it's like you can just tell that it's
it's a bit of dangerous.
It's a dangerous, very dangerous area. It's and I think that's very good as a 14-year-old guy who's been living in Denmark his entire life to see all
the walls.
Yeah, there's walls everywhere. Barbed wire.
Have you seen that famous photo? It's like of a Brazilian favela, like slum.
Yeah.
And it's like a slum, and then it's this big white wall, and there's like beautiful villas, but the slum goes up to like the wall, and the photo is just naturally split like that.
Wow.
And you go, that's exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
That's the vibe.
Wow. You're a gamer, apparently.
I am a gamer.
Yes. Fellow man.
Oh man,
Have you always played video games growing up, or did you? When did that start?
We had a Windows. It was either 93 or 95.
Yeah.
And
95.
We had a CD-ROM game.
Yes.
And it was Muppets Inside. You ever hear about this?
I haven't played Muppets Inside.
It was it was like a phenomenally abstract game. The idea is that the Muppets have got turned into data, and they're trapped inside your computer.
Oh, okay.
And you play the game to teleport them back out of your specific PC.
Wow.
And so
that's creative.
They're tapping on the screen and they're like, "Hey, help us," And it's all very interactive and the eagle face guy.
Yeah.
He's in the keyboard. I remember that. So it's kind of
That's very creative.
It blows your mind as a kid. You go, "Oh, the Muppets, and they're inside." That's why the game's called that. And that was probably the start of
that's the start of the addiction.
Crippling
addiction.
I try not. I have Steam, and I try not to look at how many hours.
Oh yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. That'll just. I did that.
I could have learned Mandarin.
I had that experience yesterday just from playing. I play Hearthstone these days, with the card game, because I played Magic cards as well.
Yeah.
And now I play this Hearthstone game. I just finished a tavern brawl thing. You have to beat these monsters.
Yeah.
And you rise through the levels. And at the end it was like, wow, you did this in 9 hours. You did it. And I was like, fuck, those 9 hours. I could have written a show. And that's you don't want those numbers in your life.
What are the swamp lizard things called?
Murlocs?
Murlocs. Yeah.
There's a Danish politician who won big in the last election. He was like, and how does it feel? This is this is crazy. He didn't know what to say.
What a crazy det her, man.
So that became like a Murloc meme. The Murloc politician.
Give him a spear.
That's so good. And